Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, July 19th. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not to be considered financial advice. Trading futures, forex, equities, options, and crypto carries the risk of substantial loss and should only be attempted with capital you can afford to lose. All right. Now we've got 2+ minutes till market open. Crude oil was one and done successful this morning. We have a short at 902.26 from 98.12. And again, note we are in the September contract as of yesterday. Getting targets 1 and 2 for 41 ticks on the day. That would have been a nice one to trail. Our basic trade plan is just to targets 1 and 2, fixed targets 1 and 2. But if you're trading 3 positions with adding a trailer, we're very successful with that this morning. Unleaded, basically same look, except we picked up the long right here. It went up and just touched money management, so picked up 1 tick on the break-even stop, or a couple of ticks. Then it picks up the short, goes to target 2 for 88 ticks. Target 1 is 57 ticks, whichever one you prefer using. And a very nice trailer going from the entry at 0979 and stopping out at 0776. So 203 ticks on the trailer. If you trade target 2, that would have been 291 ticks total. And basically a $1,200 trade this morning on 2 contracts. All right, markets are open. That's our first trade of the morning on the YM. 31,279. Lots of time probably too quick to get in it initially, but lots of time to get in sync. We had a spike down to 77. Yeah, I might go to 76. Make a 3-tick adjustment to make sure I get around that spike, that little swing level. But it does trigger in, and we are short, or would be short. Soybeans had already hit target 1 well before our start on that short, so we're looking for a new trade. Soybeans taking a nice big dip. That would have been a nice trade to be in. I'll keep that on for a few more minutes. So crude and unleaded both one and done, or both POQ this morning. Unleaded took 2 trades, crude took 1. And stop and reverse on the YM. 31,283 for the stop and reverse. It did hit. Now we stop and reverse back to short. 31,289, and we are back short again. No, 31,260, 31,259. I'm sorry. There we go. And now we have a potential stop and reverse back to long at the, and we just did at 292. Entry was at, on the long was at 291. Only 1 tick adjustment because that was the full stop loss on the short. So we reverse at 291 at 292. Which looked to me like there was plenty of time to get an order in for that. And now going forward with that, money management is at the session high, 326. And target is at 330. Looks like the YM deciding it's going to consolidate a little bit. Soybeans picking up a long trade. 2 minute 32.22. Plenty of chances to get into that. It hits target 1, misses target 2. It's trailing at the moment at 31.52 even, and just pushed up to 53.25 and stopped out. Did that spike? No, that spike got us within 1 tick. Looks like within 1 tick. 55.25. That's a case where I would, since we know it's showing resistance already, I would take profit on that position and try to get as much of that as possible. And then the trade would have stopped out at 53.25. One and done on soybeans. All right. Let's see. We've got a potential stop and reverse to short. That's going to be at 277. So where did we get to? And actually, the 20 SMA is at 277. I'd take that to 270, at least 276. Maybe go on and take it down to 274. Would have been a full stop out. So avoid it if you adjust a little bit around the 20 SMA. And now we have another stop and reverse at 277 again. This time that's right at the 50. So where are we there? 50 is at 278. So yeah, I'd probably put that at 276. And we got as low as 277 again. And if you didn't avoid the short with an additional adjustment, you would have a new stop and reverse long at 321, which it didn't get to. But should actually still be in the long from over here. So it would have avoided this short with an adjustment around the 20 SMA, and this short with an adjustment around slightly beyond the 50, giving yourself at least a couple of ticks to the 50. Let's see if we can get to 326 for money management on the original. There it is. 326 for money management. Bring your stop to 293. Entry plus 1 tick for the break-even stop. And there's target 1 at 330. And that would be 38 ticks. So a couple of stop and reverses to then actually three stop and reverses into the long. Avoiding 2 more. And there is a new stop and reverse. Actually, you would have stopped out on that. Let's see, balance line at 305. So 303 would have been your stop. And that short entry is at 304. Probably going to need that to get positive, given we had three stop and reverse losses before picking up that fourth trade. So taking the short, and there again, we've got the 20 SMA sitting there at 305. I would take that down to the 303. That should have been your and actually you have a spike down there just before that setup to 302. Yeah, I probably, with given that chart pattern, I'd take it down to 299, and we did get there. It's a 5-tick adjustment. But the combination of the 20 SMA, the spike just through it, and sitting right on the 300 level, I think that's good. You got three different things stacked up there, and that's enough to make a 5-tick adjustment like that. Missing money management by just a tick, it looks like. Money management at 282, and we got as low as 280. Yeah, missing by 1 tick. Still short. Can we get through the 50? Good morning to Miles and Pamela. Please do say hello in the chat. That's the only way I know who's here in the room. Crude going one and done this morning in the 9 a.m. session. Unleaded, a break even and then a nice short for 2 and done. Soybeans was 1 and done. Getting target 1, missing target 2 by 1 tick. That should have been a trade for profit situation. Go ahead and take your profit on that one target 2 position, and then your target 3 and trailing positions would stop out at 53.25. The YM, in its 5th trade of the morning, took 3 stop and reverse losses initially, and now we just hit another target. 5 tick adjustment makes that target just 20 ticks, so you might want to trade to target 2 on that. But if you stuck with target 1, that's 20 ticks along with your 38 ticks, and I said 303 from 92. So 38, 49 ticks on the first trade. Picking up another 20 there. Trailer is now at 296 for the trailing stop. And good morning, Steve. If you traded to target 2, you're looking for 38 ticks there. Actually, 33 ticks there with the 5 tick entry adjustment. But that target is 266. And we got as low as 268, missing by just 2 ticks. Let's see. It's showing resistance now at the 50. Support now becomes resistance. And let's see if we can get down to 66. Stop still at 96. And stopping out at 96. So we pick up just 3 ticks on the trailer. Assuming you got out at target 1. And that's 52 ticks on those 2 trades. I expect, looking at that pattern, we had the entry at 279, reversing to long at 283. That's just 8 tick loss net, 2 positions. And reversing back to short, 283 to 259. So that's 24, 48. So we're down 56. And then we go 59 to 92 for 33, down 66. So we're down 122 on those three losses. But we gained 49. It puts us at 93. No, I'm sorry, 73. Pick up another 23. So we're down 50. And trade plan to 6 trades. We can take one more trade to try to get positive. All right, Russell. No trades this morning on the micro Russell M2K. No trades since like 8:38 on my chart, 7:38 exchange time. So nothing going on there this morning. Pound Aussie is actually in the long trade, set up way back at 7:20 this morning. We've had 3 chances to hit the entry 3 times since our start time. Money management is at 74.53. Target at 74.55. 27 pip risk. Targets at 19, 30, and 41 pips for the first 3. But so far, just kind of going sideways. So let's check in on heating oil. This is Catapult on the 20 tick range, 0.002 momentum for those on TradeStation. Let's see. That would be a 9:30 start time. So there's the first trade, it looks like. Yep, that's the first trade. Looks like that one goes break even if it's tradable at all. Yeah, not likely. 1 second to money management. So that one's not going to be tradable. And you have a short, just barely ticks in. I expect that is avoidable. It's a 9-second bar, but it touched the entry and then pull back. Looks like it went just 1 or 2 ticks beyond the entry. It's full loss. This Catapult is a 1 bar setup, so it's not terribly large bars. That's going to be just a 31 tick risk. Similar situation on the long. That's just 4 seconds to pull back. So that one is definitely avoidable. No chance to get an order in that would have been triggered before stopping out. So then we come back to another short. It does something very similar. That one actually pushes all the way down to target 1. That one very likely we're in, but that's a break-even trade. but may not be. Just depends on timing on the bar. I mean, if it spiked through too quickly to target one money management, then it's off the table. So I'm given it's either a break even or not tradable. We can kind of ignore it anyway. So we've got one possible loss, one untradable, one break even, we'll call it. Then we come into a short that we definitely are in, and that it should be that's a break even. So two break evens. Finally, a long. That one goes to money management in 1 second, so not tradable. Picks up the target 3 scalp and stops out on the 1 tick trailer. Lots of time to get in the short. The entry prints on 5 bars before it gets a bar that actually triggers it. So 36 to 16. Yeah, 40 seconds. Plenty of time to 36 to 04. So almost 30 seconds to print the 4 bars before it triggered in. So picking up a target 3 and a 1 tick there. So another 2 scalp targets. Actually 1, because that one wasn't tradable. And we go back to long again. 1 second to money management. Too fast to deal with. That would be the trade to have been in, but no way to get in that in 1 second. So we come back for a short at 9:45. 2 seconds to money management. That's another not tradable. Heating oil moving fast this morning. 2 beautiful trades, but too fast to deal with on that 20 tick range bar. And that's a pretty significant, I think that's a 10 tick offset. And a 6 trade on the YM, unfortunately, is our first full loss, but that's the way it goes. Entry at 314, loss of 50 ticks, risk of 25. So we end up down 100 on the day on 6 trades. Coming up to the 10 a.m. crude session in about 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Crude with a possible get in sync here at 98.09. Trade so far is still valid. We have 1 close above the balance line, so 1 more will cancel the trade. Our session doesn't start for another couple of minutes. About 2.5 minutes to go. And the Russell getting its first trade in. Looks like definitely getting into that. Target 3 trail, or target 3 scalp target. And we're trailing at 73.2. All right, looks like we ultimately closed that below the balance line, so it remained valid, came down and touched it. Still get in sync, but now it will remain valid even with the closes above the balance line because it did trigger in. I would move the entry to 98.08 though, because it just touched it. And hitting the stop now, so that's off the table. Waiting for a new trade. And the Russell going through session highs. And there's the next possible trade, 98.19. $15 seconds to go. And we're in session. 4 seconds there. She should be in that trade. Looks like support at the 200 EMA there. Got kind of close to it, bounced off. We'll have to see where it goes. Stop on this trade is at 98.46. And a stop and reverse. This is a trade off of the... this is a trade off of the 200 EMA. 98.38. And that did trigger in. 96.36 plus 2 tick stop and reverse adjustment. So we are long now. Crude in negative territory on the session, but working to possibly get headed upward. Micro Russell still trailing 74.9. That magenta trade is as I said, the trade off the 200 EMA. That's a trade in the gold level Spotlight Master Suite. All right. Taking heat on the short now. And now we get the getting a move back up, going through the entry again. And the pound Aussie long trade just stopped out for a full loss. Haven't been over to micro NQ this morning. I'll have to get there as soon as we finish this 10 a.m. crude session. And the Russell stopping out of that trade, setting a new session high, stopping out at 76.2. First trade solid winner. And crude still can't get away from the 50 EMA right now. 50 seems to be still providing fairly significant support, but the longer it stays stuck to it, the more likely it is to break down. And there's a break through it. And a short setup. So that gives a 98.14 entry, and we did hit it. Yeah, so we get 1, 2. Actually, that is the second loss. So strictly on the trade plan, we don't take this trade. We just exit at the 98.14. All right, let's jump over and take a look and see if there's anything doing on the micro NQ. So we wait. This is the equivalent to Troy's Catapult 6-2 Renko, 6-point brick, 2-point offset. Exchange time is Central Time, so our start time would be 8:34 Central. That's 9:34 on my chart, since I'm charting Eastern Time. And NinjaTrader doesn't give me the option to chart exchange time. So there's our start time. In between there, I would say a good possibility, 2 seconds after start to there, I don't know. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, you get in sync coming back down here and then stop and reverse. Yeah, 6-tick offset. So I don't know entry offset. I haven't talked to Troy about what his stop and reverse adjustment on this trade plan is. Okay, that looks like it. That looks to me like it probably pulled back, hit the stop, and came back to the entry. But if it touched the entry before it hit the stop, it's a no trade. 15 seconds for the bar. So no, you'd have to go back and look to see what happened. Have to break that one down to probably a 15 or 30 second bar, or maybe even more than that, to see where when it hit the entry. But if it hit the entry after hitting the stop, then it would be a valid trade, and it's a winner. Targets 2, 3, and 4, and would have trailed down to $30.75. So next one is a long trade. Looks like it just misses target 1 by 1 tick. Targets at 41.75. Gets to 41.50. That That one definitely takes a full stop out. That I would say that short is likely avoidable. You took the full stop on the long. The short is avoidable. Same second for the first bar after the setup. 8 seconds on the second bar. Chances are that came through and then took a few seconds to pull back. I'm going to assume that was avoidable. 10 seconds on the up bar there. Trying to decide if it's going up or down. And it's going down, so that's a stop and reverse. It should have plenty of time to get in it. Yeah, it's 11 seconds. Entry should be somewhere around 30.25 to 30.75. And goes to target 1. Doesn't go. You need to get 11 points here to get break even. $44 tick minimum for break even, I believe, on this plan. So we get a stop and reverse to long. 1 second, 2 seconds, 7 seconds. And you probably lose most of that getting this stop moved. Definitely stop out. Well, actually, yeah. You're going to have hit the close button there, and now you have a chance to get in sync with the long if it comes, and it does come back. And I would say the stop and reverse short is avoidable. Just came through too fast, I would expect. So, and it hits its stop, so I would stay in the long, and it's still going to come back and stop you out. You either mark it out or end up taking a full loss. So either way, just kind of getting noisy. There we do get to a money management on the short. Probably some movement in that bar. And actually something I was thinking about doing. Let's take a look at that. I want to try something for doing things like this and for back testing. I think this is going to be a functionally equivalent chart, but it's going to not hide stuff from us. Oh, no, it's not going to be a functionally equivalent chart either, because it's going to change my brick size and that's going to affect trade sizes. Yep. Yeah, that's not going to work. I got to come back here where we were. Okay, there was our break even on the short if it was tradable. Possibly there, but it ends up being just a break even. Another stop and reverse. That one gets target 2 and a small trailer. Now, was it tradable? Eight seconds down to here, and couldn't possibly have gotten back to the entry. So I would say that's not tradable. Another stop and reverse, long to short. Long had lots of time to get in. Short has lots of time to get in as well. Probably took a full loss on the long. Yeah, 2 seconds, and then you got that bar. So very likely a full loss on the long, but you did get into the short. Gives us target 2 and a small trail. Not a night, not terrible, but not a good morning on micro NQ. Let's see what we finally did on crude here. Okay, stopped and reversed into the short, which gave us a full loss. That's right, I already had that. At 14. Yeah, that would have been possibly either the exit or the start of a third trade, and that's a full loss. So not a good session for. No, it wouldn't have been a full loss. It's still in, and then you stop and reverse at 98.38. Well, that's going to be just a straight exit. So a tough session on the 10 a.m. crude. Interesting morning. I don't have any. I really am not watching Tesla right now. And just primarily because I have enough to do in the mornings with my futures trading. I've been a long-term hold investor in stocks, and while the near term it hurts a little bit, definitely hurts a bunch. Over the long term, it's been extremely profitable to do, and I don't have to worry about watching where things are going every day or few days to get in and out. Right now, the capital gains would be such it would be an extreme tax hit to change strategies at this point. for me. I would love to follow some of Romulus's strategies. However, what I've noticed with the trade alerts is they often come out why either one while I'm in my morning futures sessions, or two in the afternoon right before close when I've got other things going on. I'm not looking to be in front of a computer or somewhere I can make trades. I think the strategies are obviously solid, but they just don't fit my lifestyle at this point. All right, questions and comments. Do we have anybody new in here this morning? Uh, Romulus offering some thoughts on Tesla in the Trade Hacking Club. His opinion is basically not a good time to jump into that right now. We're going into earnings here shortly. That crude just absolutely noisy there. Yeah, well, no, it's still, and they're finally getting a solid trade off there. And a tough session in the 10 o'clock session. All right, folks. Pound Aussie, after setting a new session low, comes up, triggers into a long that goes to another full stop, and triggers a short at that stop, and now bounces back up and is testing the 50. So tough morning there as well. Mixed bag this morning. Any other questions? Now that kind of has come to the end of the charts I've got to look at right now. I've got to get up with Troy and see what he wants to use for some counterpunch charts. Nobody wants to talk to me this morning. Just one question, and that about Tesla. All right, folks. Not much left to look at. Everything's done, either good or bad. So unless I see some questions or some things for discussion, I believe it's time to call it a morning. You're quite welcome, Pamela. See you tomorrow, Miles. Yep. Troy will be in tomorrow with a regular 9:30 session and the crude oil inventory report at 10:30. So we will see to where to go, where that goes. So we will see everybody tomorrow. Everybody have a good rest of the morning and a good afternoon.